Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. A lot of people were asking me, before you go, do something special, show us something special of Bangladesh. So today, I'm showing you something that's only one in Bangladesh and ever will be. This is the most nicest and freshest Ford Mustang of Bangladesh. Ford. Ford is an American manufacturer that are building cars. It's been more than a decade. But what's actually Ford? Ford makes daily drivers, SUVs, off-road SUVs, and cars like the Mustang. But the Mustang era has come to an end because now Ford are making Mustangs that is a crossover and it's electric. But that's not an actual Mustang. A Mustang means it has to have a long front end, rear-wheel drive with a V8 engine. But the new generation of the Mustang comes later. Let's come to the classics, because there's only one in Bangladesh that's this generation of the Mustang, the first generation. This is a very famous car because obviously John Wick, and it's actually the same color scheme as well. This is a very rare car and you guys asked for it, so I really managed it for you guys. So before I go, you have a special video to watch. This is the Ford Mustang that started production from 1969 till 1970. This generation. Overall, to be honest, this is the nicest looking Mustang till date. I think this is a better looking Mustang than the new generation vehicles. But let's come to the actual details of this car. You guys can think this is a black car, but it isn't. The only black thing about this car is this front stripe. So this whole stripe is black with these two stripes on the side. You have this massive hood scoop that ventilates the engine and takes air inside and gets the hot air out from the back. You can see the 351 written on the sides that actually tells you guys about the car's engine. Then you have this vent that takes all the hot air out from the hood and gets it outside. Look at the front windshield wipers. These are also in metal. Look at the front window. Look at the front window trims. Everything's in metal. Nothing's like those plastic treatments of the new Mustang. But what's cool about this generation of the Mustang is the front end. If you look at from this view, you could look at the front nose. How aggressive this front nose is. And now if we come closer, you can see you have two lights here for your main headlights. Then you have this full chrome bar at the front and then more lights here with the towing hook. Then you have the Mustang logo here. This front portion is open for ventilating this big V8 engine, and just look at the front end. It's such a beautiful looking car in Bangladeshi roads. For opening the hood, I have to do that from the driver's side. But from the driver's side on the hood, because it's a clipped system, that's why you have to lift this up first, then you have to push on the hood and get this clip out. That's for the driver's side. Then you have the passenger side. But why am I saying driver's side and passenger side the wrong way? It's an American muscle. Let's take it as it's a left-hand drive car, but this is a right-hand drive. So let's get the hood up. Then you can see the car's powertrain and the car's heart. In the days, they didn't have any plastic treatment or any plastic cover for the engine. You have the engine right there, and every car enthusiast or someone who likes cars want to see this, not a plastic treatment that's over it. Now let's come to the car's engine. This is the Mustang 351. So there was two different variants that a lot of people are confused. Like I saw some post on Instagram and Facebook about this car, but it was the wrong engine variant. So this is the 5.8 liter Cleveland engine. It's a naturally aspirated V8 and it is an American V8. With this engine, you have a 3-speed automatic transmission. But what's cool about it, just look at this engine. It's a piece of art. Just look at from the top till the bottom. This is your dipstick, so that's how you check your car's engine oil. This is where you pour your engine oil, that you can see right there. And you can see how the engine is in the center of the car and how good it looks. I'm not going to bore you that much with the car's engine, but this is not a car for performance or anything else other than keeping it in your garage because it's a garage queen and you just admire it by looking at it. You can see it's a very good thing that it's a piece of art, but it's not as reliable as you would think. For closing the boot, you have to do the same. This latch goes in, then you get this part in, so you just push it towards it and then lock it. For this side, I have to get this clip out again and then I push this from this side, and there that goes in, and there that clips in. That's pretty much for the car's hood. Now let's check out the car's interior. So now let's get inside the interior. So let's open the hood, and here we get inside the driver's side. After I get inside this car, you know what I think about it? It's a piece of art. When I reviewed the new generation of the Ford Mustang, I told you guys about this thing. It starts from here, it goes down, and then it goes up again. This is the things that Ford do and keep their car the classy way. You have Mach 1 badging here with the racing stripe. Then you have your glove box placement here that's inside this. You have your AC vent here that's closable and openable. You have the floor mats that also have the Mustang logo. Then you have the car's seats. The seats are leather and fabric. You have Mustang written on the top, as you can see right there. And the seats are so comfortable. You have the little storage area where you have a little bit of room for putting your stuff inside. And this is your gear knob for your 3-speed automatic. So you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and 2-in-1. Then if we come to the upper portion, you have 2 vanity mirrors. Pretty nice and pretty cool because the owner of this car maintained his car. And the collection is unbelievable in Bangladesh. So then you have the steering wheel that's fully in wood. This part is in metal. This is where your honk is, and it actually says Ford Mustang. Then we have this. This is actually for your hazards and your high beam and stuff, but this is where the key goes in. This is the key of the car, and it goes in right there. So that's the place where the key goes in. This is for your wipers, so for turning those on and turning those off. This is for the oil pressure, so low and high. This is for the fuel gauge and the engine temperature gauge. And this is where your speedo gauge is, 120 miles per hour. It's a very good statement for that. This is where your all temperature stays in. So it tells you the temperature of everything that shows here. But what's cool about this car is the actual cockpit. How you hold the steering wheel and you drive the car and you look over the hood. Now let's come to the door. You have this very nice soft touch material on the top. This is how you identify if the car is locked or not. Then you have this leather treatment until the front, as you can see here. Then you have the Mustang logo again. Then you have this small compartment, and this is how you open the door. This is for the windows, and back in the days the windows were cool, but it needed a lot of strength though. So that's how you open the window and close the window. Then you have your speakers here that are actually branded. It's not a non-branded company, it's actually branded, as you can see from here. Then you have this metal scratch plate so the car doesn't get scratched, and overall it's such a comfortable car to sit inside. So let me show you guys the rear of the car. First of all, I'm going to show you the key, and what's special about the key is the key ring. Because it's a classic car, it doesn't have a physical key, because before that days they had normal keys. So this is the key of the Mustang, and then these are the 2 keys. One is for the car, one is for the boot. Let's start the full review by showing you guys the back first. If we get down, this is a classic. You have to understand first, because in classic cars we can't show you like LED tail lights, you have panoramic sunroofs and stuff. Those are for modern cars. Classic cars are the garage queens. So you can see the rear of the car. Let's start from here. First of all, you have Mustang written on the top. Then you have the Ford badge right there, and that's actually where your fuel tank is. Then you have a key socket right here. What is that for? That's actually for opening the boot. For opening the boot, I have the key placement right there, and I put the key there and I twist it, and there you can see I can open the boot. For a classic car, whenever it comes to Mustang, we have to think about American muscle, and American muscles do have a very practical boot. So if you look at the boot, you have more than enough storage under this. This is where you put fuel in, and that's where it goes to the fuel tank that's under this compartment. But you have more than enough room for storage areas. Now if we close the boot, because we're pretty much done showing that, we can get the key out. Now let's come to the attention to detail of this car. First of all, you can see this. This is considered to be a logo, but this is actually the Mustang logo, and this is a twister that you open for filling up the car. And there you can see the Mustang written with the rear spoiler on the top with this iconic color. Overall, rear end of this car is very beautiful, but unfortunately very underrated. You have the spoiler that comes with the Mach 1, and this is actually the Mach 1 variant. So you can see this huge spoiler right there. Then if you get down, you have this chrome segment that all the way comes till here with 2 lights for your hazards and functional exhaust tips for back then. Back then, cars were heavier. Cars were more hard. It was more and more powerful with a big engine. Not powerful as in horsepower, powerful as in the sound. So that's how you can see how cool the rear end looks like. If you get up from there, you have this very nice vents on the boot. This actually helps on aerodynamics, and it actually looks better when it comes to the exterior accent. This is actually openable, as you can see from here, with 2 buttons. Picking this up, I could just get this down and then come here and get this down. I could lift this up, then you can see the entire functional of the car's rear windshield. You can see it says Mustang Racing right there, and this is the car's windshield, and you have metal brackles on the sides. Now let's get this back down for showing you guys the exterior of the car. So you have 2 locks like I mentioned, one is placement here and one is placed here. There we go. That's pretty much it for the rear. Now let's look at the car's side profile. So the length of this car is 187.5 inches. For a car that's made in back in the time, the cars were more longer, and it's a Mustang. It has to have a big hood because of American muscle reasons. Now let's come to the car's wheel. You can see the wheels are small, but the tires are width. You have to understand it's a rear-wheel drive car. It needs most amount of power at the back. That's why it's a staggered setup. But if you look at the front wheels are 25, 60, R15s. Smaller wheels, smaller brakes. Because back in the days, it's not about the car's performance or anything. It's just about the car's body and the car's looks. If you get up from there, you can see you have the Mustang badge here, and then you have the Mach 1 badge that all the way extends till the rear of the car. This is where your keyhole is, and for opening the car and closing the car, you have to just press this button, and there you open the door with your frameless doors. Now let's close this. You can see you have chrome treatments all around the car, but this is not plastic chrome. This is actually real metal that actually make the car look much more premium, and it looks like a proper classic car. If you come back, you have this hood for the aerodynamics of the car that feeds air here. And then if you get down, you can see the rear wheels. Rear wheels are same as the front for the actual size and all the stuff. So it's 225, 60 R15s, but the brakes are smaller. And the suspensions are obviously coil springs, because back in the days there weren't any air suspension, as you know. This line all the way extends till the back, as you can see here. And then you have another reflector light, because this is actually an American muscle. So that's why it has to have American stuff on the back and also the front. So you have this very nice chrome treatment right here. Now we're pretty much done with the car's side profile. Now let's get inside the interior. Let's open the car's door. Just look at the big amount of opening, because it's American muscle. For getting this front seat up, I could just do this, and then I can get inside the car's rear. So there we do that. I'm just going to quickly close the door, and then I can get the seat back. Being a 2-door coupe, you have more than enough knee room, headroom. Just the underside support is poor, and you have to understand it's a coupe car. But as it's an American car, seats are so comfortable. You can put your hand here. You have an ashtray here, as you can see. And what's cool about it is you can get these full seats down and easily sleep inside the car. You have room lights as well, and these are in warm white, so it gives you a classic view. Light actually comes in this car from the back and the sides, and just think about it. It's such an amazing looking car from the inside and the outside. Now let's come outside. So let's get here, and I can exit the car. So there we do. I can get the seat back. And now let me show you a quick overview of the front. So opening the door again and getting inside. Closing the door. I'm going to end this video until here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Watch the exhaust video, and I will see you on the next one.